Hey everyone, I'm Wa.
I'm Chris, and welcome to Docu Sweeties.
We're two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docuseries.
Yes, but through our own lens, which can be, restful and chipper and bright, and also can be sleepy and tired and lethargic. But at the end of the day, hopefully mildly sweet. Hello, hi,
Hi!
hi. Um, we are talking 90 Day Fiancé. This is season 10, episode 8. If anyone objects to this union,
Please stand up and say.
please say
um,
no, no, don't get married. If I'm gonna be like, if anyone objects to this union, well, you fucking should have said something before, shouldn't you have?
yeah, before they
Because
pay
they're
for
already
this whole
here.
wedding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all here. They're up here now. It's too late. If
Too
anyone
late.
objects to this union, well, it's too late.
It's too late.
So go home bitter, and
Mhm.
your rest of your life miserable and lonely because you wasted it. You wasted your opportunity to get the one. One of these people will be out of your lives for the rest of your life. So
I also want to say one thing.
great.
Just so he can get his sausage to explode. That was the quote of this episode for me.
Mm.
Just so he can get his sausage to explode. I've literally never heard that statement or that turn of phrase, and I like it. Hey, babe, do you want me to get your sausage to explode? I can help you explode your sausage, babe.
Yeah, you just sound like a Cockney wench, talking to a sailor, honey.
Oh,
Like
okay, I can do Cockney. Aye, I can help your sausage explode.
God. Yeah, it was a good bloud. It was good. So basically, Rob the Knob is upset, honey. It's like the next day, he's like in his little courtyard area. He's trying to text Sophie and she's not texting back. Just like things like, wish you would talk to me. I wish you would just let me in. I wish you would let me say something.
Yeah.
Which is like basically, obviously, what had happened was she had a dream that he cheated on her. That she looked through his phone and then found some wanker videos of him like I forget she said 7 months ago or 17 months ago, like sending to some girl where she like also videoed himself masturbating. And so she knew that
He
like,
said that. She didn't say that. He said the videos were so old. He's like, I don't even care about that. And I'm like, you're so narcissistic to even think that it matters whether or not you care about it.
yes, great point.
She's the one who fucking is upset. So it doesn't matter whether or not you care about the videos or you care about
Yes.
the girl or you care about it. It's about her and
Yes.
her feelings and what she cares about. Oh my god, I hate him so much.
Yeah, he's dumb. But Sophie's in a rental, she calls her mom. Now, this mom phone call is great. And also indicative of the fact that no, she does not come from money at all. This is like definitely a Cockney mom trying to be cool mom, where she wants to like be best friends with her daughter, and every way she talks to her is kind of like, oh my god, I literally can't breathe. Tell me everything, and she had gotten a text from Sophie, and then Sophie has to be like, well, I had a dream. One of my dreams, Mom. I have the magical dreams like Joseph the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat where they come true all the time. So I had a dream that he had cheated on me, and then I looked at the phone. And guess what, Mom? He had sent wanker videos. And I mean, the mom is like, oh, he made it all about him. He always does. Right when I was trying to make him, right when I had gotten to the point where I believed that he loved you, he does these. Don't believe those tears, those crocodile tears. You never can believe men. I mean, she goes right into like the innkeeper in Les Mis, honey. I mean, it is like master of the house. I mean, this is like I lived for this. Like, this is also astute though. So the mom does be like, well, Sophie, this is not a conversation where you've saying that you boarded a plane coming back to me real fast. So obviously you're not going to leave him, And yeah, Sophie is like, I still love him, like, I don't know why I said love like that, but like she's a little girl. Like, she can't leave. She very much says that she wants it to work out. All she wants him to do is just talk her into it, kind of, right? What?
To me, this is more Sweeney Todd. It's attend the it's like meat pies. Get your meat pies. It's very like Sweeney. She's that lady. She's Helena Bottom Carter. If you watch the movie, I
Mm.
can't remember the lady's name,
Angela
but
Lansbury.
yeah, if you know that one, but she's that lady. Um, yeah, I hate this storyline. I hate them together. I don't like Rob. Like I can't get into them because he's so stupid and is such a loser, and it is awful. But that line of he wanted to make his sausage explode really got to me. I came back and wrote it down. I took hardly any notes of this season. Of this scene, yeah. Um, her hair is awful in this. It's just like if she could just get someone to help her slick it down and just like give it a good like a brush. You need like a thick brushled brush to like really get it down and get it straight, and then add those bobby pins to it. I think it would make me feel a little better. Now, Gino and Jasmine, girl, what did you think? Because I thought that Jasmine really, really held her own when it came to that family coming at her, because she gave it right back to them in equal measure.
I
And
loved it.
I thought it was really, really smart of her.
Yeah.
So he's downstairs and he's like, Jasmine, where you eat? And producers make it seem like she's barely even gotten out of the shower when he says this. He fully got his coat on and she's barely brushing her hair. Now, she's getting ready to go. She's putting on lotion because it's dry, dry, dry. But for whatever reason, he hasn't told her that she should wear tights. She should wear something to cover them bare legs. You know what I mean? But she has a sweater dress on and she's very dressed very conservative because she's around his family and she can't have her tits and ass out.
Yeah, but honey, she is not in the mood, you know?
She's not in the mood.
She's got a meeting in the ladies' room where she puts on lotion and she puts on a concerted dress. She'll be back real soon. But she gets to this place and everyone's like, "Oh my god, Jasmine, hi!" And she's like, "Hi, bitches, hi, mwah, mwah, hi, bitches, hi, mwah, mwah." She's like, "Look at them, they're all animals and they're all trying to be nice to me because that is how you get your prey. You cozy up to your prey, make them think that you're so safe, and then you pounce. I know them. I hate their family. They hate me." She's just like, I hate these fucking people so much, and they hate me even fucking more. They think I'm a gold digger, blah 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 blah. But in this scene, it is a lot of like huggy, kissy, kiss, kiss, kiss.
But she is cordial to them. And he is so worried that she isn't going to be. And she's like, baby, if they do something to me, I got to go. So you better watch your peoples. And I like the fact that she came in all smiles and she's like, hello. And she's, really good at it. But she knows she messed up. So she's like, I'm going to put on a happy face. And she's like, the weather is a very good indication of how I feel, sad and gloomy. So
like Tennessee Williams play, honey. I mean, it really sets a mood. Yeah. And the mood is she's not in the mood. Okay, go on.
Now, I don't know what bocce ball is. I'm gonna tell you right now that I 100% did not think it was Italian. And that's what he makes it seem like it is. Like it's originally an Italian game. I thought that it was Japanese because it's bocce. To me, I thought like that's Japanese, and I'm stupid because I also thought that hollandaise sauce was from Holland, which I learned. I just learned something new. I learned that in 90 Day Fiancé when Julio wouldn't go to Holland with what's her face. So
yeah, honey, TIL. Today I learned, but yeah. I also learned the word centini, which means to 100 years, which I like that. They give her a toast to 100 years. But yeah, bocce ball happens, which basically you roll a queen ball out, and then you guys got to like get all the other balls as close to that as possible without hitting the queen ball, and you can hit the other balls out of the way, and she's really good at it, and she's hitting all the balls out of the way. She's great. So after this fun, exciting, challenging game, Gino says, he's like, she's a true Italiano, I just like, okay, hilarious. Then, Gino has a moment where he tells them the bad thing to tell them, the thing that you absolutely should not tell them when they're meeting her for the first time. They don't think she's a gold digger and you want things to go right. I wouldn't, it seems like, right? So this has to be fake. Come on.
I feel like it does, but he also didn't say it was for butt surgery. He said it was for a cosmetic procedure. And so I thought
he didn't say surgery. He could have, if he was like, look, a medical procedure, then at least he could have hidden it as being like, well, she was going to get $4,000 for a dress, but she needed, emergency appendectomy.
Yes, but but he still wanted to let them know that she's making poor choices. So to me, I was like, he could have said it was $1,000. It's like I was trying to figure out a way he could have done it, because I felt like he was trying to protect her in a certain way, but then that wouldn't be the drama. And then the one like nephew, Anthony, was like, you're spending his money, or like he just came out of the gate with it.
Yeah.
And you should be grateful. When that came out, Jasmine was like, well, thank you for speaking. I feel that he should be grateful because I gave up everything to move here and be with him. And Gino's like, and then the other person is like, what are you gonna bring to America? What's talent and skill? And it's like, when people ask that question, I'm like, this country is so fucking big. It's so goddamn big, from sea to shining sea. The amber waves of grain and purple mountains majesty. To ask what one big tittied, ugly ass bootied, big lipped Panamanian is gonna do for the United States is such a fucking crazy ass question. But she's like, I'm an educated woman who had my own car and job and money and everything back where I came from. So I bring a lot and I can offer a lot to this country. And I thought, hey, come on, for president, Jasmine for president. She answered all those questions very well. And then the prenup question came, and she was like, and then that person got her, because he was like, I had to sign a prenup. And she didn't have nothing to say to that, because it's true. If someone there is like, I'm an American, she's an American, and I had to sign a prenup because it just provides safety and blah, blah, blah. And that's where we stopped. And she was like, I am being attacked. And Gino just sat his ass there and didn't say shit. And she had to speak for herself. And I'm really glad her English is good enough so that she could speak for herself. And she didn't get angry at them. She just brought it back to them in the same manner. And then the cousin was like, Gino's ugly. Gino is ugly.
Yeah.
And I don't see why she would ever want to be with him.
Yes.
So that's why we don't trust his motives. And I said, wow, y'all said that man is ugly on national motherfucking TV, the most watched show in the goddamn America. Y'all said that
From sea to shining sea, they heard it, Wah.
He's ugly. Chris, they said that he's ugly.
I know.
Chris, that's fucking wild. They said he's not the best looking guy. Wow. And that's not even true. Like, Gino was a handsome man.
We lost Wah.
That's so mean, Chris.
No, I know it's mean. I know it's mean. But that's why it's like so interesting. When they're like, what are you going to do? She's like, what am I going to do? Give hope to this man. I look at this man is like, be the apple of this man's eye. What are you talking about? What I'm going to do? What I'm going to contribute to the America is to fuck this person, your cousin.
He's ugly. He doesn't have any money. Fucking weird. He wears a hat everywhere he goes.
He can't ever play poker. The next scene is LOL. Like, so yeah, basically after this, whatever, she's driving home with him in the car, and her phone, she loses her phone. She has to like get her phone. And whether this is fake, I kind of love it, which is him being like, oh, well, just wait until we come to a complete stop if you want, or you can get it now. And of course she puts her long hand down there, and honey, she finds a lip gloss. Okay, finds it. And she's like, Gino, what is this? And Gino looks like this. Nothing.
I don't know.
Gino, eyes open, blink. Eyes open, blink. And Jasmine doesn't have to, but she does say another word. She screams for the rest. But in that moment, she sees that he not only knows whose it is, knows when it happened, and knows he's caught. All three at once. What, right? It's
Chris, like,
what?
how long has that shit been down there? Like, she pulls it out, and I'm pretty sure there's like fucking dirt and hair and all manner of particles all over it. Cause he's like, that shit is lost now. Like, how dirty is that car? He's like, you know how long I've had this car? I'm like,
You never got it cleaned?
you
You
never
never clean
ever.
it?
You didn't clean that car before she. Oh Lord, lot of mercy. That shit is wild. That lip gloss was in the recesses of the front passenger seat.
What does that car smell like,
I
Wa?
don't know, Chris.
Think
Stop
about it,
doing
Wa.
that.
No,
Oh
you better think about it right now, Wa.
no.
You better think about it.
Cheetos. No,
Okay.
Fritos. Original. Fritos original.
Fritos,
The corn
Cheetos, and
chips.
Toast.
The corn chips.
Corn nuts.
Oh,
There's corn nuts like in the where the chair like goes back and forth. It has like a metal kind of like gear, and in that gear is a corn nut.
Yeah.
So she loses her goddamn mind, and she's just like, "Take me back to Panama! I can't be here with you. I wanna go home.
I don't have my passport. I'm like, where is it? It's a house with Coco?
No, you're just a coworker. People have coworkers, and
You're
then people
dating a
drive
coworker?
around with their coworkers. No, it's a totally normal American thing.
I'm getting upset. Yes, I get upset. So fun. I guess.
Yeah, what a great scene. So she's really upset, and then we'll see what happens there. I wonder if she'll go back, Wa. Do you think that's the end of it for them? What do you think,
No.
Wa?
I
Oh,
think
no?
they're gonna get back together, and we're
Really?
gonna have more scenes like this.
No. Well, she won't lose her mind like this again, right?
Yeah.
Well, she's not going to accuse him of cheating, though, right?
No.
Okay, good. Now you can sleep well.
Okay.
Do you want to move on to? Oh, you have a lot.
Clayton and the scammer?
Yeah.
Okay, listen.
What?
Anna Lee thinks that she fucking walks on water. Okay? Anna Lee knows that Clayton should be grateful to breathe the same air she breathes. And Anna Lee is the most plain-faced, basic of the basic, most Peruvian basic Betties that ever bettied. She is playing the fuck out of Clayton, or she is just the most unaffectionate, unemotional person we've ever met. Okay, so then we start off this scene where he's getting ready for her, kind of, because this is how okay, Chris. Okay. Let me tell you. Sometimes. Okay, let me tell you. Okay, you know how sometimes you go to people's house, you go to someone's home, and you think to yourself, oh, they don't either A, know what clean is,
Oh, God.
B, know that their house is dirty, or C, understand that when they invite people over, they should clean. You ever had that happen where you go to someone's house and you know that those are one of the three things that are going on?
Yes.
Okay, so Clayton understands that his house is dirty, and he tried to clean it. He tried to do something, but he couldn't because he doesn't know how to. And his mother was unable to help him.
No help.
Yeah, and so he did.
Only a hindrance. Only a hindrance.
Yeah, he did. He tried. He even lied to her when she got there. He was like, the kitchen is normally not like this. And I thought to myself, if it's normally not like this, then fucking fix it. Okay. But anyways, I digress. So let's start at the beginning. So he gets, and he talks about, okay, she's here. Let me talk to my mom. Let me show the audience, the t-shirt I got. And it's like this, the most basic white t-shirt with a picture on it. And I love you to infinity and beyond, Buzz Lightyear or whatever. And then his mother creeps out of the closet, and I was wondering to myself, why does she have these items right outside of her door to the point where she can't even fully open her door? Why doesn't she put her bureau or her little nightstand on the other side so that she can fully open her door? You see that space right on the other side? Why doesn't she do that? Why does she put it in a place where she can't open her door fully? So she just like creeps out of there like the crypt keeper to come out and tell him how she's learning her Spanish. And Chris, will you please tell us what her Spanish is?
Como está?
Oh, that's good. It's wrong, but it's good. Okay, what you would say to her though is "Cómo estás?"
Oh, right.
Okay, and so then
Also, mom, don't talk like she's a child toddler. So don't be like, "Hi, I'm Clayton's mom." You know, she's like, "No, I wouldn't do that. No, I'm smart." You know, you're like, okay, girl. Well, we'll see. We'll come back to you when she gets here, and we'll see what the Spanish that you come up with. Okay, let's see.
the mom's like, "Okay."
Yeah, so many pictures. What wanted both these pictures? I want you to know that Wa wanted both these pictures. I was like, "Do we need both, Wa?" She's like, "Both. They're both so different." And I was like, "They're both so different, Wa?" And Wa's like, "Yes. How dare you delete one?" And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, you put it up." And I've been waiting to see. And if you're on Clayton, if you're on Patreon, then you know that Wa was being petty. Okay. So I was putting up pictures of Clayton's mom and she's being petty about it. But, you know, we're all petty at a time. So, but listen, one thing about, do you want to say something?
Okay, Chris, look at this.
Yeah.
This person could not even he d- he has I know he has enough money to get a two-bedroom so that at least the dogs could have their own space. In the
So you're telling me that he'll get a 2-bedroom, keep the mom in the closet, and then one bedroom is his and one bedroom is the animals?
something, Chris, something, because this living room pet center is wild.
Yeah, it is. It
Wild.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. What? So there is it. Okay, so this is what's happening. Obviously, he has 2 fat guinea pigs, and it feels like every animal has 2 cages, each animal. Like, I don't understand. Like, so because it should be like one big cage is the guinea pig cage, and maybe you have a crate for each dog too. Like, I don't.
They have a
But
crate,
usually,
they have a bed, then they have a space where they can like a little blanket over that so they can get their nice little sleep at night. Then there's like a little like gate for them so they can like run around but then not go into certain areas. And then on that porch is like a whole little garden on that veranda.
yeah, yes. And is that a humidifier? Is that a humidifier over there or an Alexa? I'm not quite sure. In the corner
Yeah.
underneath the lamp.
Uh-huh.
She's
And then
upset.
that's the mom's like dressers. This is where all her like underwear are. You know what I'm saying? And that's her TV.
I
Okay.
can feel that blanket. I can feel I can feel the texture of the blanket that's draped upon the cages, you know? And listen, I'll tell you who just walked in there in a brand new cage, Annalise.
Yep.
She's
What does it
like,
smell like in there?
we know.
Like dog and guinea pig, whatever that smells
And
like.
mom
Oh,
and
just
closet mom.
just
Okay, so it's all of it. So, and I hate to say that, but at the same time, what hoarder smells good? I mean, only because I hate to say, but like, if you are a hoarder, I just don't see a world in which you're like, I don't mind if my belongings and the way I live and the surroundings are utter chaos, as long as I'm pristine. You know, like I don't, you know, I just can't imagine that the attention to detail and meticulous hygienic ways extend to both their body
depends
and the
on the
way they
type
are.
of hoarder. Some the hoarders that don't have running water, obviously, but some hoarders do have running water.
Okay, maybe that's a thing, but let me just tell you.
After
So, okay.
the airport.
Yeah, the airport is called Bluegrass Airport, which I was very much into. He's like, "Look, I don't ever buy flowers, people. Like flowers die and, you know, but I really am happy that she got her ass here." So he brings a flower bouquet that looks almost like what you would have brought to like an engagement or like anniversary party in the 90s, you know, like it has the shape that's like white and red. It's like white and red. I don't know, it's like it's not it's just, like, not that kind of, like, farm fresh or, like, any sort of, like, French-looking bouquet or any sort of, like, beautiful I don't know. There was, like, a weird thought to it, but that's just me. So, she has been traveling to get there, and she pulls up, and, she's coming down the escalator, and we're like, "Oh my god, there she is," and he's so happy, and those are the flowers, and she just kinda walks up to him, and he just starts
Yeah.
well, and she's like,
He's so happy and
"Yeah."
she is mildly okay. You know, he's like, And she's like, "Oh,
She's like,
bless flowers, flower." Like, what is it from the
sh-
Bridgerton? Uh, flowers, flowers, felicitations, and
oh,
all good stuff. What is it?
I only saw the
Look it up.
only season, and I don't remember it. I remember the
Oh
I remember this being something that happened all the time first season.
no, it was last season.
Oh, I didn't watch that season. That's what I'm saying. Um, yeah, no, I don't know, but she always calls him little one. She's always calling him little one. Oh, you're so small. Oh, my baby, my small little baby. Oh, what a small little man baby you are. Little small one. Pequeño, piquito, pequeño. She's always like, it's interesting. So yeah, he's crying with the gifts. She's like, cool. And then, she later on in confessional, she's like, well, if it doesn't work out here and if I don't like it around here, I'll eat one of your guinea pigs. And we've already been knowing that she's been eating guinea pigs and he loves guinea pigs so much and he's fattened them up for her. He's Hansel and Gretel these guinea pigs to look to be basically walking steaks in front of her, So she's into it. He's like, well, first you have to learn how to cook. Dun dun dun. And we're supposed to be like, oh, you have such banter, you have such wit about you. Oh, well, it's back and forth. I can see the charm. She gets to the house and she meets the mom. The mom for the first time is like, Te amo. Te amo. And she's like, oh. She can't even say it to his son. She can't even say it to his son, much less her,
She is so confused that this lady is telling her tale. Sorrows, sorrows, prayers. That's what Queen Charlotte says when her grandchild has died. That is what she says to her son. Sorrows, sorrows, prayers. Moving on. This
Oh.
Anna Lee is a scammer and doesn't give a shit about Clayton. Or she's just really bad at emoting. And she's like, everything in this house is out of place and unorganized. And I knew the mom lived in the closet, but I didn't realize that I thought he just meant it was a small room, but it's an actual closet. And that's crazy because our house in Peru is quite large. So I can't be mad at him for this starter home, but we are, and I expect something bigger. And then he's
moving
like,
on up
moving on up
to the
moving on up.
We don't know where she wants to go.
Somewhere better than whatever it is that he's living in Kentucky. Like, Te amo is hilarious. And he's like, the kitchen doesn't normally look like this. And I mean, look at what's behind him. That air fryer, those pots and pans, whatever's in the corner. I mean, what used to be in the corner behind him?
The pasta in Tupperware? Like stringed, looks like spaghetti standing up in Tupperware.
Oh, and the spaghetti holder. Okay, I understand that. It's just like all manner of chaos that, they live in the smallest apartment. That apartment is too small for two people to live in one bedroom. And the pandas on the bed, the suitcase on the bed, it's just...
She loves it. I do it for you now. If I see a suitcase on the bed, I'd be like, well, I gotta do it for a while,
I hate it so much. It's because it's so fucking disgusting. The suitcase has been in the airport, in the bowels of the plane, on the turn thingies. Folks have been throwing them here and there and everywhere. Like, it is wild to me that you would put it in a place that you put your clean body.
The same people put their feet on the bed and their shoes. Some people, it's a lot of the same. It's just the way you look at things. Like, I feel like people, it's the way you're raised. If someone tells you that, like, I feel like, I don't know, that's how I feel, but I always do.
Oh.
Okay, so basically, he's like, well, here's our room. And she's like, small room, just like you.
Oh, Jesus.
She does it so much, like.
She thinks he's just the littlest
small man. Yeah. But he has a weird shower curtain. I noticed it looked like it was kind of like a jungle in there. I don't know if it's what it smelled like. I don't know what black mold's like. Yeah, it looked like that. Now he's like, look, I'll tell you one thing about living with my mom. It doesn't stop me from boning. Oh no, I've had sex with her 10 feet away. I just tell her if she's gonna be here, put on some music, she puts on her... What is her music, Wa? Quickly.
Jimmy Buffett. The Eagles.
Oh yeah, Hotel Smellifornia. She just yeah. Maybe she's a big Stevie Nicks fan. She's just like, piano rings like a bell. I don't know. But she plays it
Dolly Parton.
loudly.
She's a Dolly Parton fan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Little Sparrow, no, she's Jolene.
Jolene,
On repeat.
Jolene,
But
Jolene,
I like Bargain Store. It's my favorite. I know
Jolene.
my favorite, but I love Bargain Store. My love's like a bargain store. Anyway, so she then comes in from the bathroom, and listen, she's not wearing lingerie, and I don't know if she's showered because her hair looks dry. So she's like,
Which is
"Hey,
wild.
think about it." So then she's like, "Move over." He's like, "Well, I sleep here." Now he did that thing because he has no room in his room, where he pushed his bed all the way to one side. So you can't get in on one side. You have to enter on one side only, and then that person rolls, or you climb over that person. So she's like, "I'm not, no, you just go, and I will be able to sleep right here. And if I want to leave, I can. And not only that, I'm using this panda to separate us because I want to sleep well." Which it's just never, I feel like, a good sign for a couple to not want to be at least cuddling.
Oh my God. Not want to
Cuddling,
have sex.
a billion. It's not good if no one wants to cuddle the first night. I mean, anyway, so Wab wrote that panda saves her.
That panda saves her from that whatever dick. I mean, the dick is not good if she don't want it.
Oh, okay. Talk about a dick ain't good if you don't want it. Nikki and Justin. I don't. Oh, Justin. Oh, you're right. I messed up that. You know what? I know I said that. We can cut that out. But I really just meant. No, I did. I didn't mean like that. Go ahead.
Nikki and Justin.
Yay!
Okay.
Okay. We did it.
Apparently, he doesn't give a shit about her orgasm, which sucks because many men don't. They don't. They don't give a shit. They're so rude.
You're absolutely right. She's like, we had selfish sex. He rolls over the next day, kind of like, hugs and kisses her, and there is a certain amount of intimacy and softness in what he's doing, so we know that there's been like something around them. But yes, definitely, we also hear that she is not fully satisfied, and then this whole episode is kind of getting to the bottom of exactly what it is. So that's kind of like what it felt. But one thing I get, and I just want to say, I fully get this about Nikki. I know what it's like to feel unwanted and like spurned. And so I love the idea of when I get into a romantic relationship, really feeling viscerally someone's want and need of me, in a primal way, because it assures me that this person is into me, and loud enough that it overpowers like my own insecurities. So I understand this like blatant want and desire for him to validate her in a physical way.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that. Yes. I lead with sex. So if that doesn't happen first, I'm like, I'm out of this. We should have sex first so I can see whether this is worth going forward. I believe in that. I believe in making sure that the sex is right. I believe in that. So yeah, so if that didn't happen, I'm like, yeah, I can't. I need to see how big it is, what your stroke is like, and then
She
everything else
wants
can
a
fall.
scoop,
Yeah, I need to
obviously.
see what that's gonna do. Correct. And so they sit with the friends, and it seems like it's gonna be a good time. I don't know if it feels like I want to go to Moldova, but not really, And so she talks about how she met him for a new time, met him again. She hasn't been there since 2006 or something like that.
Mm.
And wow, it seems just such a long time ago. You know what I mean? Like 2006, low ride jeans, like thin, skinny eyebrows, just like Christina and Brittany are on top. You know, it's just like a different time, you guys. Just like a
I know
different
it.
time. You know, I
Yes.
had a Mazda 3. I was living in LA. It's just like a real
Lindsay
food.
Lohan is living their best life in America.
Yeah, it's just like real food daily. It's like vegans, like budding in LA. You know, okay, anyways. So and she's in Moldova, which is like I didn't even know there was a place then. And she says that her voice is different now, her body is different. And I'm like, well, was she so I wanted to kind of know more about what she was like then. You know, was she not taking any hormones? And you know, what was it all like? I just want to know what that looks like, because in the picture she looks very like she's transitioned already. But and you know, she'd already had the surgery and whatnot, so I was just kind of curious about that part of her life. But then all of a sudden she starts talking about how she was a prostitute and she was like on drugs, and that she would like sleep with men in order to like make money. And I'm like, whew, when was that? Like, that's an interesting story. And like, so when was that timeline? So it's just like she was being really vulnerable with herself, with his friends, and I thought that it was quite interesting. And I was starting to see Nikki, and she looked better.
Yes, she did.
It's like the lighting really worked for her. She didn't look as wild and crazy, and I don't know if I'm just getting used to the way she looks, or again if the lighting was better for her, this like night lighting. And so she ends up taking the female friend to the bar, and they're talking at the bar to see, you know, are all Moldovan men kind of stingy with the sex? And meanwhile, the men at the table are talking about how they enjoy their women to be a little bit more submissive. And then I immediately thought of Andre and Libby, and I was like, Andre can have me on my knees. I mean, it's disrespectful to Libby, but like,
Mm.
I get her.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, especially be choosing between him or her family, it's like no choice.
Yes, not a choice in the world. I'm running off with Andre. I'm jumping on his back and letting him take me into the sunset.
Yeah, no. So basically, then we get a lot of information, a lot, because when Nikki goes to speak with the friend, she's like, you know, yes, like, what do Moldovan men do? Do they like go down on women? You know, because he won't go down on me. And she's like, oh, that's so weird. Yes, they do, you know, basically. And then he's talking to his friends and they're just like, hey, don't be disrespectful, but just like, what's happening downstairs? And he's just like, yeah, no, there's no dick. There's no dick. It's a vagina. And it looks so perfectly like a vagina that I would never know in a billion years. I wouldn't know. It looks just like a vagina. And I wouldn't know, except I'd now know. And that's why I have some issues, is basically what happens. But which is so much information now we know. It's like, it's, you know, what someone has downstairs and what's happening. But I guess we were supposed to know this information. It's like what the scene's about, you know? It's just always interesting when the scene is about the weird or the nitty-gritty details of
Genitalia that we didn't necessarily ask for, and that I sort of have been conditioned not to need to know. It's not the same thing like when Gabe was talking about it.
Yeah, but it's like, so let's just say this was okay. So this was a cisgender couple, and the girl was like, he won't go down on me. And we were then talking about her vagina. It was like, he was like, well, was talking to his friends like, yeah, I just don't. It looks like a good vagina, like it looks like a normal vagina. I just can't do it, you know. Like, you know, it would that be a weird, that'd be a weird conversation to have. Like, then it'd be
Yes.
like, we're talking about this. The only time in which we've ever talked about a cisgender woman's vagina on this show was Danielle Jabali, and it made the show happen. You know, like, it's so shocking to get into the nitty gritty areas and nooks and crannies of a woman's vagina, that like to talk about it is like, or the smell or the way it looks is so shocking that like when Muhammad did it to Danielle, like we were all like, well, I guess we're in for this show for the rest of our lives.
The labia
How are we watching
minora
it?
is like, looks like sushi, you know? If you want to say like yeah.
So yeah, but you know, that's what that is. And you know, I don't yeah.
Yeah, it's like really, it's talking about or we'd be like, oh, he has this really teeny tiny peenie. Can't unhear that. Now I'll forever know that someone has a teeny tiny peenie.
They say some things like, I feel like we know sometimes if a guy has one ball, like, you know, like I feel like that's like a thing in pop culture, like Well, like, we'll just talk about, like, some guy will just be like, "Oh, I have 1 ball." You right? Have you heard
Oh.
about a guy with 1 ball?
Only on Sex and the City.
Okay. Like, maybe, like, what are the times in which we nonchalantly just talk about nitty-gritty details of vaginas and penises to people's faces and about people that we know and love? Like, that's another thing. It's just so interesting. So,
Mhm.
but let's move on, shall we, to Devin and Nick. Honey, it's the showdown of showdowns over Korean barbecue, honey, and give me some
Oh
galbi.
my
Give me it right
god.
now.
Give me it
Galbi.
right now. And
Give it
she
to
just
me.
needs she should be embarrassed of herself. I was embarrassed for her. Were you not embarrassed for her?
No.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? The moment she started crying, I was like, "Shut up."
The first thing I seen of her is like, "Oh, you look pretty. You're prettier. You're
Yes.
skinnier. You're skinnier and
Yes.
prettier than we thought you'd be. You're so skinny and
Yeah.
pretty." I mean, everything is so like, ugh, like, I feel bad for her. I feel so. This is like the mom is like, hair is done, hair is laid. She has a mustard blazer on. Like Devin, and I love her so much. Like, it looks like she does not know what a brush is. Like, she looks like she uses a thingamybop, like Ariel. Like, maybe it's a fork, and she runs it through like one part of her hair, one strand maybe gets like mildly tangled. Devin, I love you. Like, hair combing isn't for you, but she
Also,
sits
her
down.
makeup choice, that, like,
What makeup?
liner that she puts down here and then that color that she puts right here, Chris, I don't get it. It's like she just takes the liner, she goes down, and then she
Yes.
puts, like, a pink or some kind of, like, coral below it. It's a choice, and it's the wrong choice.
I'm going to tell you this as like a makeup person from what I also know. If you have very downturned eyes or you have hooded eyes, sometimes if you think you're following up the thing, when you actually look at it, it looks like it went down sometimes. Like,
Mhm.
you have to, if you have, you really, it's an annoying thing to how to learn your, not only your eye shape but how to apply eyeliner so that when you put it on it actually looks like how you want it to look, or doing something. It looks like she, God bless, is just like, this part I put it there, I put it there, and then like as the day goes it's like,
Well, I thought she was doing it on purpose,
oh,
which and that's fine, but I think the color I think that she's doing it wrong. I just think that whatever she's going for is not giving the effect she wants. She needs to give me a little divot up here to kind of make it work. It's just not working. Um
I get that.
but yeah, I feel like they were being complimentary, I mean, in their own like kind of backwards way by saying she looks better in person than she did in pictures. And then he also needs to learn how to better translate because he's not good, So they're like, "Hey, how's it different in Korea than Circe?" And she's like, it's bigger and it's more stuff. And he's like, "There's more stuff." And I'm like, "Why don't you just say like, oh, the buildings are bigger and it's a bigger city." And then they get to Korean barbecue and it looks like, oh, this is a great place and just so much authentic food. And I'm so happy for her. She gets to eat it. And she's just overwhelmed with the questions. And the mother's like, I'm going to be sad. And then there's just food. Just, he's like, shops, shops, shops. He's just like, I can't stand him eating. The last time I saw them eating, I was grossed out. And now is gross too.
Yeah, the mom's like, "Wipe her mouth. She has lipstick on her mouth." Like she wipes her mouth. He has the cutest little niece with like, like hairs and pigtails, just like, now it gets a little awkward because they're like, "Have her speak some Korean," and he's like, "Speak some Korean." She's like, No." Now, this is where I'm gonna tell you this. When you meet someone's family, whatever they ask, I don't care if you don't want to do it. You look and you smile and you do it. Because
Yes.
this little girl with these pigtails isn't expecting you to like recite a whole goddamn thing.
Uh,
But she is expecting you to look at it and just be like, "Oh, no, I don't know any Korean, so forgive
mhm.
me, but bulgogi,
감사합니다.
bulgogi.
Mhm.
Do you like the bulgogi? Bulgogi?"
Mhm. Mhm.
And the daughter be like, "Yeah," and by the way, yum, like it's the yummiest food. You could just talk about the food. It's
Mhm.
why it is important for people to come together and break bread. So by
Mhm.
the way, in this
Mhm.
table,
Mhm.
they have a drawer that comes out and they bring the utensils out. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with it. But yeah, the mom is basically like, look, we're gonna miss you. Like, and
Bosom.
he tells that to her, and then she just loses her shit. She starts
Bulgogi.
and like the sister sees it first, she's like, "Is she crying?" And
Mhm.
then he's like, "Are you crying?" And she's trying desperately not to cry. Now, this is like at a table where everyone's saying you are so close, like, there's nothing worse than not wanting to cry, and yet the tears flow, like
Oh God.
there's nothing more frustrating. I feel like it's very frustrating when it happens. Like, I feel like it's like if I don't want anyone to see me and I'm just like embarrassed, it's just like if I'm mad, which is not the situation, if I'm mad, I feel like it takes away my power, my strength. But like it happened. This is so dumb. I saw like just a children's play, like it was called Cindy and the Disco Ball, like recently. Like no one should cry over this play. Like no one else is crying or whatever. Like I don't know where I was in my life, but I just sat down, honey. And they were like basically this is what I cried about. So like Cindy, well, we know Cinderella, right? Cinderella, it's the same thing. So Cinderella loses her shoe by the play. They have to like find the shoe. She sings a song how like she's like the shoe's gonna fit, but I was always special. Just because in this moment you see that I'm special, I've been always special. Okay, well,
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I wail. Okay,
No,
like no, I mean, like it's coming down so much that
but you're like,
I can't bat it away enough,
you
I'm
didn't
just like,
wail though, right?
no, I didn't,
Okay.
no, I didn't, but I mean, my dad is sitting next to me and like my friends are sitting next to me and like tears, it looks so crazy. It looks like who has harmed you? Like I live a
What did your
great
dad
life.
say? Did he look at you? Was he just like, the hell?
He wanted to pretend he didn't know me, like shit to the other side. He's like, I don't know where. And I'm like, I have your face, motherfucker. Yeah, of course you do. So, but it's basically, I know that. So she does it. So he's like, are you crying? And she's like, no, no. She's crying, crying, crying. But at the end, they hug her, and like the mom kind of grabs her chin, and then he's like, low key, those tears helped
Oh my gosh. Because
because
she's like,
the
I feel
mom,
bad. I'm taking him away from you guys.
yeah. And then the mom was like, oh, she's sweet. She has a heart. Well, you can have him. I
Yeah.
guess, but then the mom says the thing that we've never heard anyone say of anyone on the show. We have never heard what this person says, which is, my son has always done well, so I trust his decision. You know who doesn't say that? Gino's family.
Yeah.
You know who has never said that? Not anyone on this show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're like, I don't trust him. You don't know what you're doing. And I'm trying to save you.
Yeah, that's why I was like, you know what? We didn't think that the Australian thing was going to work out, but he fucking loves Australia, like won't come back. But this one, I mean, what is he going to come back now? Probably not. I mean, this one's nice. She feels like she has a sensitivity about her, and I don't
And
know
she's
what
going to
she.
be respectful. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all they can ask for, and that's all they got.
All right. Okay. Ashley and Manuel.
It absolutely opens with the morning music, and I was just like,
I was like,
what a weird
why?
choice. Yeah, what a weird choice. Like, is it because you just were like, we need something there, honey, that absolutely has no rights? I mean, just like it's public domain, just put in something, like.
Yeah. I was like, is this it felt like I was gonna watch Looking for Wabbits. It was
Yes.
very much that. It was like whatever that McFuddle or whatever his name is, looking for Wascally Wabbits, because that was very much a Looney Tunes sound. Anyways, so they're in the bedroom and she's like putting on lipstick and he's sitting in the bed shirtless, just like not giving a fuck in his pajamas. And she's like, mi amor, mi vida, and la 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 la. And then all of a sudden a producer's like, just out of the blue, Ashley, wait a minute. Fucking record scratch. What is happening right now? Because just an hour ago, you guys were fucking pissed at each other. And my thought is, what happened an hour ago? Did the crew go for lunch? Why was the crew there and then not there and then now there again? And she's like, oh, we had sex. And then it was just like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, they got it. They had a fight, which the crew is not telling us about at all. So we don't even have that scene. It's somewhere on the cutting room floor.
That is an easy flashback just to give us a moment of what that looked like. Because instead you're breaking the fourth wall by having this producer say this, which is weird.
Yes. And then they just like and she's like, listen, there's sex magic. And all you have to do is just really intently think of the thing that you want while you are orgasming. And I'm like, who can do that? I am trying to just make sure the orgasm happens. If I even veer off for a second, it's gone.
You really got to time it right, I guess. Yeah, because like, yeah, like if you were suddenly like, oh my God, he's making me feel, or this person's making me feel so good. This person's making me feel so good. And lotto, I love the lotto. Let's do a lotto. This is such a weird, that's weird. Or yeah, just again, like, oh, he's touching the right spot. Oh, right
Money,
there.
money,
Oh,
money,
I want a
money.
promotion
Yeah.
at work. I hope I get a promotion at work. I'll talk to my boss. He'll say yes.
Yes. No, I can't do that. Like, no. It doesn't seem like viable at all. It doesn't seem like a right option to do that. And so she's like, sex magic. It's in everything. It's like we can manifest because everything we do in life is our manifestation. And I was like, oh my God, you manifestation. So, anyways, we find out that they're gonna go to a therapist, and Manuel is like, they're not gonna fucking change who I am. Okay. I am awesome the way I am, and no one's changing shit about me.
Wait. First, they go to the bar and meet all her friends.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It's okay. They so yeah, like after she's been purring, honey, after they've been boning, honey, she like brings them to meet all her friends at some witchy bar. It's called the Spirit Room. And then her friends are like, hey, what's happening? Some of them speak Spanish, like he is, he Manuel has always been very much giving us this. Look, I do what I gotta do, but I have my life and you shouldn't ask me too many questions. That is his like MO, and like that feels incredibly shifty, right? Like that's a shifty feeling. Like it feels like you should be together. They're like, are you gonna get married? Do you want to have kids? He's like, yeah, maybe. Yeah. Like everything is like, if it happens, happens. Like it's his vibe is an F boy. Now Ashley has made this decision, and again, Ashley, for all the like intuitive, spiritual, witchy stuff going on, again, it makes us feel like where are the people telling you like where are your spirit guides to be like bad choice, but God. So then they go to a therapist. Well, take it. Nope.
Sorry. Yep. So yeah, they go to a therapist, and the therapist is bilingual, and she works with K1 visa clients often to try to work through some communication issues. And so they get there, and she's telling Manuel like, hey, when you shut down, when you completely ignore her, it upsets her. And he's like, and it makes me happy. And it makes Ashley livid. And he's just like, listen, I'm not here for this mumbo jumbo. Okay, I don't care that you're a witch, and I don't care that she's trying to get us to talk about our feelings. I don't care. Like, and Ashley's mad. She says livid isn't the word. She's infuriated, and they end up leaving the space, and he's talking about he's gonna walk home, which is so dumb. It's like, where do you think you are? You're not walking anywhere. But yeah, I mean, the interrogation with her friend, at some point he like kind of shuts down because they are like telling him all these things, and this is something that is really hard for Americans to kind of get through their brain. And this is something, because it was hard for me. Like when I tried to date Guatemala Bay, there is just fundamentally some things that are so different with cultures, especially cultures where therapy and talking about your feelings and like medication for mental illness and things like that are just so far away from what people understand, what they can even afford, what they have access to, like things like that. And to talk to them about these things and expect people to change behaviors because of communication and things like that is wild. You can't get people to change that kind of, especially if they come from like little towns and isolated places. Like it's not something that's going to happen. And so
you gotta be open.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. And so Ashley's going to continue to beat herself upside the head and bang her head against a wall until Manuel gets to a place where he finds value in communicating to her. He feels that it is completely normal for him to have his own private life and keep his own secrets. And so she's never going to get that openness from him that she desires.
Yeah, absolutely. But her tote bag was awfully cute. So I'll give it to you, Ashley. Oh, that's a cute tote bag. He needs privacy and she wants everything. So it's a classic conflict. But we have come to the end of this journey. We thank you so much for spending any time with us at all. If you haven't yet, consider giving us 5 stars wherever you listen to podcasts and maybe a comment or two. You can also follow us on the social medias. We are at DocuSweeties on Instagram, at DocuSweeties on TikTok, at DocuSweeties1 on X/Twitter. And we also have a Facebook group. It's called the DocuSweeties Podcast Facebook group. Now, this whole time we've been putting up pictures, and if you want to see them, or the fact that Juan and I are in matching shirts. I mean, just for we're in matching shirts. Okay, that's just neither here nor there. But what it is, what actually happens. So
what it is. Okay, yes. So you can join us on patreon.com/DocuSweeties for only $10 a month. You get it live every first Monday of the month, as well as exclusive content that we don't add to the free feed. And you get the visuals of what you're listening to right now. And so join us over here if you would like to, girls, like, or boys or whomever, and people, and everybody join us. $10 a month. DocuSweeties.
everybody,
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, anyways, join us. I recently did a Law and Order episode with amazing Kevin Flynn and Rebecca. And I'm gonna delete this because I still didn't look it up yet to see.
Everybody. Okay, let me ready. Can I sing it until you're done?
Yeah.
Everybody, yeah, rock your body, yeah. Everybody, rock your body right. Backstreet's back. All right. No. All right. No. All right. Okay. Whoa. Dun 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 dun. Oh my God, we're back again.
Everybody. I just want to sing it so bad. Stop it.
Ready to bring the flavor,
Show you how.
Got a question, better answer now.
Show you how.
Am I original? Yeah, thank you, Nick, for going up. Yeah.
Am I the only one?
Yeah.
Am I sexual?
Yeah. Am I everything you need?
You better rock your body now.
Why are you so
Everybody.
slow?
What? Am I everything you need? You better rock your body now. Everybody.
Yeah.
Rock
you were doing
your
it like
body. I always sing that part still. I'm sorry.
Am
It's just
I
my own.
everything you need? You better rock your body right.
Yeah, that's what I do sometimes. Lovely. Oh, they're married this whole time. Didn't know they're married.
Wow.
Rebecca and Kevin Flynn.
Okay, do you want to do your whole thing?
Crime Writers on. I don't know if it's just Crime Writers or Crime Writers podcast. Oh fuck! I gotta get their information better.
Oh
no.
Email. Oh, I was looking at it. Can you go back to the email that they sent you and just see if what they said?
You're right.
I don't care. It's only 8:30 where I am. Well,
so guess what time is where I am?
I mean, I'm not gonna guess. All I'm saying is I'm chill.
Hate you. I hate you. You hate me. The TAT. What is that? The something TS. Fuck, I don't know. God damn it. I don't fucking know. He didn't tell me shit about it. Okay, I have to ask him. Okay, I'm not going to say it this time. Who knows when the episode's coming out? I got to get some information. Okay. Anyways, guys, we'll talk to you later. Bye.